But the point I'm making is that if we are going to be disciples of Jesus Christ, then we have to be passionate about that. Do you think Christianity is working today? And that's a kind of a tough question to answer. But the question, I think, is how many people on this planet have met the person of Jesus Christ? I'm assuming all of you kids have. And you meet him in all different kinds of unique ways. You meet him in people. You meet him in the Eucharist. Takes faith. It's hard to find Christ in the person who drives me up a wall. Somebody who's kind of a source of anger to me, or frustration, or sorrow. But we have to look beyond the borders of humanity and find Christ in that person. But he's there. And he's certainly there in the Eucharist. You know, there's an awful lot of Catholics who don't believe in the Eucharist. They don't really believe in Christ's present body, blood, soul, and divinity under the appearance of the bread and wine. They don't know what it is. We don't understand. That's an absolute mystery. We do not understand the Eucharist. But do we believe it? Do we really believe it? And my sense is that, there's an awful lot of Catholics that are leaving the Catholic Church because of whatever reasons. But they still go to church, but they don't go to the Catholic Church. They go to some of the mega churches around. There's one over there on Walling Road. There's one over God's Grace. There's Parkside out in Cambridge. There's Church in the Rise over across from St. John's Hospital, West Shore. And they're going there because maybe there's something happening there that isn't happening in the Catholic Church. And that might be better hospitality, better music, better homilies, the warm and fuzzies that you experience maybe when you walk inside of the church. And maybe that's the reason that they're leaving. And if you don't believe in Jesus Christ's presence in the Eucharist, then they're going to go where they want. Now, one of the great things about St. Basil's Church is you get all that stuff here, don't you? Yeah, you do. But when we experience Christ in the Eucharist, we got to experience him with passion. You kids are going to receive him tonight. You're going to receive him. Body, blood, soul, and divinity, Jesus Christ is coming to you, to each one of us. And through the Eucharist, we become transformed into him. That's the whole purpose of the Eucharist. We become what we eat. And when we are consuming Christ, we should be becoming more and more like him. So that the way we live our lives, that's the way we're proclaiming the gospel, with passion. Most Catholics are not called to stand on a soapbox and preach like what I'm doing right now. You're not asked to do that. But that doesn't mean we don't preach the gospel. We preach the gospel with our lives. St. Francis of Assisi said that we may be the only gospel that some people will ever read. The word of our lives. And Christ has given you all different kinds of ways to do that. And due to the Eucharist, through the liturgies, through the program. You guys are going on a retreat, first weekend of March, right? And there's a very unique way that you meet Christ. And those of you who have been on, I suppose most of you have already been on St. Basil's retreats, you know that you encounter a little facet of Christ. But that's got to really inflame you. And hopefully, it'll make you more passionate in believing this gospel. That's what's required. Can you imagine what this world would be if every Christian lived the gospel of Jesus Christ with passion? Can you imagine how wonderful this planet would be? But so many people don't. Maybe because they've never been evangelized. And that happens when we meet Jesus Christ. And when we meet him and when we hear his gospel, then we too will become, will be on a mission from God. So that's the message that I want to leave with you tonight. So when you see John Belushi, think of St. Paul. And God help me, I hope that St. Paul isn't upset because John Belushi's kind of a shady character himself. And that particular movie is the message. Okay, so let's try.